Hey there writers, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Emma and I'm a romance writer based in the UK. So for the last couple of months, I set myself the challenge of writing a complete first draft of a contemporary romance novel. This book is going to be my Christmas book for next year. It's the second in a series that I'm writing. It's set in a fictional town in Cornwall, and I've never written a series before, so that comes with its own challenges, I've discovered, and we're kind of getting to grips with that. For the last 3 years during November, I've taken part in National Novel Writing Month. Now, the official organisation that ran that, also known as NaNoWriMo, has closed down, and there's all kinds of other challenges that have popped up. Some people are still doing their own version of NaNoWriMo. But I didn't want that kind of pressure. I've got an enormous amount of stuff going on in my life as well as writing, and that was just going to be too much to be able to write that number of words. Traditionally 50,000 words, but actually I needed to have over 60,000 really for it to be a full first draft for me. So what I decided to do instead was to write 1,000 words a day for October and November. Did this work out? Well, yeah, it did. I actually made a video a few weeks ago, which I will try to remember to link down in the description below, about why I think that writing 1,000 words a day is just a really, really good target to set yourself, and why it works so well for me. Now, usually if I was writing that amount every day, I wouldn't do it 7 days a week. I would have a day or two off a week, but I really just wanted to get this entire first draft done. And yeah, it actually went really well. So I didn't necessarily write exactly 1,000 words every day. There were some days where I did a little bit more, so therefore the next day I might do a tiny bit less, but basically it evened out as 1,000 words a day, and I did write every single day, which was fun in that it really kept the story at the front of my mind. So that I was right in there. I knew the characters really well. I did run into a few problems though. So the first problem really was kind of the same problem that you have if you're doing any writing challenge like this, and that is just fitting the words in if you've got like a busy day. So usually if I've got a particularly busy day, I would just have a day off writing, no big deal, but I couldn't during this challenge. So that did lead to a few days where it got to kind of 10 o'clock at night and I hadn't written my words. Although what is good is that 1,000 words I found is very, very doable in kind of an hour and a half for me. I'm not the fastest writer. If I was kind of taking my time more, procrastinating a little bit, messing around a little bit, then it would take longer. But that's fine. You know, I didn't have to do it during a certain time limit most days. And it was good to know that if I was a bit short on time, then I could just crank those words out fairly quickly, which meant that it was less of a daily commitment than when I normally do NaNoWriMo, where I always tried to get, I think it was 2,000 words a day. I tried to get so that I had just that little bit of a kind of buffer going on. So that was really good. What wasn't so good kind of came down to me in that I was not being as methodical as I could be with how I'm writing. So usually what I would advise and what I try to do is you start at the beginning of the manuscript and you write all the way through to the end. But especially on days where I knew I didn't have that much time to do writing, I would go like, okay, I need to be able to get 1,000 words out quickly. I kind of can't be like fiddling around with this bit that I'm not really sure how it goes. I do, however, know that there's going to be a scene, say where they go to a Christmas market. So what I do was I would start up another Google Doc, because I always write in Google Docs, and I would write that scene purely because that was like the easy choice. So then I ended up with, I think at one point I had 4 different documents with different bits of the book in there that weren't properly connected. And that was just really not good. I managed to sort it out, but I put it off for too long so that the problem got worse and it built up as bigger in my mind. It felt so good to be able to put it together. I think though there was then more work as I connected those things together and made sure that they were in the right places in the story, as opposed to if I had done what I know you're supposed to do. So like I say, that was down to the fact that there were days when it was just really busy, didn't get back till quite late, and I still had to get those words in. So how on earth people who work full-time outside the house manage to do a challenge like this, I have no idea. You guys are amazing. I could not do it. Anyway, so yeah, I managed it. I think I ended up with 61,143 words, something like that. And it is a complete first draft. I wouldn't say that it's as good a first draft as I have done in previous years for NaNoWriMo. I'm not sure why that is, possibly because of the wasted time with the different documents that I was talking about before. But it'll be fine, it'll all come together. So what I'm doing now is I'm having a complete break from the manuscript, not for ages, because I don't actually have ages to get this sorted, but kind of at least a week. So yesterday was the 1st of December, and I had a little bit of a kind of getting ready for Christmas Day, did a load of Christmas baking, went out for a few hours and like got some groceries and had a nice coffee and things like that. So that was all really nice. Watched a film in the evening, did some knitting, all the things that I really like doing. Today I'm catching up on some kind of mainly life admin and things. I don't know if anybody else finds this, but if you're really focusing on writing, especially if you're drafting, other things just get left to the side because your mind is just so focused on that one thing and on your characters. So it's really easy to just put things off. So I'm trying to do some of those today. But what I am going to be doing over the next few days is I've got my notebook here, which is my notebook. It's actually for this series. I thought that I was going to have a separate notebook for each of the books in this series, but there was so much paper left in this book after the first one, because I didn't write that much by hand of the first book, that I didn't want to waste it. So I figured I'd do the second one in here as well. So basically I'm keeping this book really accessible to me, so that when I think of extra things that I can pop into the book, maybe bits that I can expand on scenes, things that I'm wanting to draw out if I don't feel that I've done that well enough in my first drafts, I can just make a note of that, and then in about a week when I get back to the manuscript again, I've got those notes so that I can tick things off and check that I've done all of those. So at that point then I will leave the manuscript until the new year, and then during January I'm going to be doing a proper second draft of it, ready to send off to my editor by the 1st of February, and that is going to be so good to have that book sent off. What has been really nice as well is that because it's a Christmas book and we're leading into like the Christmas season, so it's kind of been fun to be like writing about the Christmas lights switch on in my fictional town on the same night that I went to the Christmas lights being switched on where I live. And yeah, it just kind of gets you in that that Christmas mood. So yeah, that's been really fun. So basically, I stand by what I said, that 1,000 words a day is absolutely a really good goal to set yourself. It's moving things forward really well so that you can see proper progress very quickly. But it's not so much that it's completely overwhelming. I do maintain though that I need generally at least one day off writing a week, possibly two, just depending on what else is going on in my life. And I don't necessarily mean that that needs to be the weekend, because I love writing, and often writing is relaxing to me if I've got the time to do it. It's more if I'm tired, if I've been out all day doing something and then I get back, that's when I don't necessarily feel like writing. So those are the days that I would like to be able to take off. Of course, if I'd been a little more organized, I probably could have got a bit ahead of myself with my word count in the last couple of months, and then I would have been able to take a day or two off. So that's definitely something that I would consider, because I'm planning to do the same thing next year for the Christmas book for the year after, as it works so well. If you've been taking part in a writing challenge recently, then I really hope that it went well for you. And if you've finished now for December, I just appreciate, don't you just appreciate the not waking up every morning and thinking about how many words you need to write? It's a beautiful thing. If you've enjoyed this video, then please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already, because we have a lot of fun on this channel, and I will catch you in my next video.